Welcome again, friends, to another episode of Deep Fried Friends, episode 12, our Dirty Dozen. We had some guests fall through at the last minute, so tonight we are going to do a bullshit buffet, a potpourri of pop culture and random shit that's going on in our lives and in the world. So here with me, as always, is my good friend and brother to the left, Elkman,
Howdy, howdy.
the belt-fed sniper,
Hello, ladies.
and Swooky.
Waka waka, they gave me unsweet fucking tea.
Oh,
Oh.
isn't that a crime in Georgia?
I'm pretty sure.
That-
Especially
that's
from
That is a crime. Yes.
from
crime,
God's
that's crime.
Chicken, Chick-fil-A, they gave me a goddamn unsweet tea.
I believe in a Georgia prison. That's considered cruel and unusual punishment.
I mean, people have been killed for less. Just
Some
saying.
people that will kill away for less.
I hate tea, but I don't give a shit. It still needs to be served with sugar in it because it already tastes like dog dick. So
My son got served unsweet tea one time, and we were driving, and I about wrecked because he said, "Daddy, my sweet tea's broken."
sweet tea's broken.
I said, "Do what?" He said, "My sweet tea's broken." I was like, "Bubba, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific." And he said, "It don't taste right." And I said, "Oh, let me see."
Tea
Took a
just
swig.
ain't working right.
He took a swig of that tea. I was like, "Yeah, it's broken." He said, he looked at me and said, "It doesn't taste like Mimi's." I was like, "No, because Mimi's gives you diabetes instantly."
When you drink it, it's as thick as a milkshake from all the sugar.
But bro, if that spoon ain't standing up in that fucking jug, ain't
Double
sweet
audio,
tea.
Richie says.
On who?
Oh,
oh
probably
no.
everybody.
Oh,
Who has double audio?
probably the stream.
Or it could just be back.
Could just
Mac
be Mac.
talk.
Mac talk.
I haven't done anything different from the last time.
I don't hear it.
You're gonna be trying turning that shit down too.
That's
Let's
it. Richie, you're fucking fired. Get out of here.
Brand new EXO to the 3ID is already giving out false info.
Seems about right. That's what a
God.
fucking butter bar lieutenant would do too.
That's after he got lost going to the PX.
Motherfucker got lost in the bathroom.
He's working for Russia. Oh,
These
God.
goddamn commies. Well, I guess we'll start off with that as of this moment. This is March 1st, 2022. So if anybody goes back to listen to this episode, we are at day 6 or day 7 of the so-called Russian invasion of the Ukraine. If you want to call that limp dick effort to invade a smaller nation an invasion.
I was gonna say I wouldn't really call it an invasion. I'd call it more like Ukraine bitch slapping.
Well, no, they did effectively invade. They breached national boundaries and they declared a special military operation, not war.
Oh, well, they're getting bitch slapped by the ghost of Kiev. So I mean,
No, they're getting bitch slapped by people on home territory when they're coming in fucking with a half hard dick. You can't thumb in a softie in a war.
Oh, St. Javelin putting in work.
Shit, St. Molotov is doing work too. What you talking about? Oh,
Hey,
Grandma
look.
throwing her sunflower seeds.
Tanks don't like fire.
Hey, look, I'm gonna go off this, and this is something I know Elkin wants to talk about too. Between that Ukrainian grandma and the guys on Snake Island, those are some of the biggest titanium balls in Eastern Europe. I love her.
all I'm saying is, if you're on a fucking island, Russian warship rolls up. Russian warship to people on island. Surrender. 13 people on island. Fuck you.
You're not even a platoon, and you say "fuck off." That's some brass ones, boys.
Like, if that was the moment that I was getting called home to the fucking Valkyries, then fucking so be it. I told the Russian warship, "Fuck you," as I stood there with my fucking AK staring at it.
That's in the same vein as the American 101st general at Bastogne telling the Nazis nuts when they demanded their surrender. Like, nuts. If they'd have just said suck on, then or D's, it probably would have been a better. But at the time, that was the perfect response.
Ah, nuts.
Yeah, see, it's your fucking shit, Richie. Get your shit squared away, sailor.
I just wanted to make sure I turned down everything but my microphone and y'all's sound coming through. So
Hmm.
You always gotta turn it
Goddamn
down when me and Spanky come through.
I mean, I'm just waiting for all the good shit to eBay. That's all I'm months. I'm just sitting here watching, waiting.
Yeah,
I've been watching Gunbroker like it's going out of style.
you ain't gonna see much on Gunbroker yet, but
Gunbroker too expensive.
now you got to wait for all those guys on the PMCs and all the Ukrainian Legion dudes to come back in about 6 months, and then you'll start seeing that shit fucking everywhere.
Well, I mean, if Verda would have got the funds together, we could have got us a fucking BTR one day, but someone jumped on that shit real quick.
Everybody kept asking last night, they're like, Mac, why aren't you over there killing Russians? I'm like, dude, if I didn't have kids, you don't think I'd already be there?
Low key, Max actually doesn't hate the Russians. He's just a ploy to get y'all off his ass.
I had to make a response as well. There's some jackass over, actually, sadly, from my home state of Texas, and he speaks Russian. He's over there actually intermingled in the convoys with the Russians, and he's there like doing his own bullshit fucking QAnon reporting from the front lines, talking about we're going to denazify it. And then ironically, the battalion that he's attached to, this Dmitry Grigorov or whatever, I probably got the guy's name wrong. They have a profile picture of the dude, and with his shirt off, he has the SS symbols tattooed on one collarbone, and his rank as Oberhoflieutenant, I can't remember the SS ranks. They just sound like some German sneezing into a cup, tattooed on his other collarbone. And this dude's like, oh, we're going to denazify? No, you need to turn around. He is a Nazi. They're trying to de-Ukraine the Ukraine.
Have you seen the pictures of the tanks rolling down the road that's got the USSR Soviet sickle flags on the tanks rolling in?
Doesn't surprise me.
No, it's like,
For those of you that don't speak fresh dip and mouth, he said that there were tanks rolling through with the sickle on them.
I understood it.
You know what?
The only thing I've really seen is all the broken ones, like the ones that have been abandoned and shit, and like the machine guns on top, the 14.5 millimeter machine guns are all missing. They've already been stripped, and I'm like,
oh, dude, they showed that. So we were talking about. Like, I think it was me and Richie were talking about that, or somebody else.
Damn it.
They had that line of the Gaz Tigers that they had ambushed, and the platoon that was in them just abandoned their vehicles and fought their way back out of town. And the next thing you know, the Ukrainians are crawling all over the top of them like Jawas, stripping off the AGS 30s, the PKMs, pulling out the RPGs and all the gear and MREs and shit out of the back. Like, ain't nothing going to waste. Like, the Russian military just donated probably 20% of the new Ukrainian army.
Like, hey, comrade, I trade you PKM for a pack of smokes, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, friend. It's very nice.
Like, I'm trying to understand the thought process behind Putin and his generals. Like, we know that the Russians, I'm not going to call them a paper tiger because they still have a ton of people, and I know they know how to fight. It's just, it seems like they're going into this half-assed and half-hearted because you don't invade a country in the middle of winter, and you don't do it in spring, but especially with heavy armor, because the fields become mud, and if you stay on the road, it becomes a shooting gallery, which is what it has. And there's all the memes out there about right now about the AH-64 and the A-10 pilots just mouths watering, looking at 5-kilometer-long armored convoys. Even as Arma gamers, I'd just be like, I wish I was in a chopper to shoot this right now.
Right.
But why would the Russians invade at this time frame? Like, it just seems half-assed. Like, why now? Why wouldn't they wait another month or two as you're starting to go into the spring, once the fields are dry and they're tilling the soil? Why wouldn't you invade then? Why wouldn't you invade in the middle of their summer?
There's something somebody in Spearhead said that seems to be pretty knowledgeable on some things. We may not all agree with this person from time to time, but anyway, he has this theory that Putin is possibly terminally ill, and this is his last hurrah. And because, I mean, fact is, press conferences that you have seen him lately, he's looking pretty rough. I mean, he's not his normal, Putin self. He does look pretty rough. He does look like his health is in decline. I kind of tend to wonder if this person's theory is right, that he is terminally ill, doesn't have long left to live, and so he decided to say, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it now."
Yeah, but
And
see, I don't know. As much as Putin is an egotistical bastard, Putin believes in the bullshit theory of the Russian Empire, and part of me leans toward him wanting to rebuild the Soviet Union, but doing it in the vein of the Russian Federation. I don't see him going a la Hitler in 44 and doing one last gamble and throwing all of his cards on the table for one last chance as sickness of whatever form starts to rack his brain and his body. I don't think Putin would put his country in a position that's going to leave it worse than the position he found it and got it in 96.
No, actually, I'm gonna have to go with Swookie on this. If you think about it, he thinks fucking Sleepy Joe's that big of a dum dum, right?
And he is. I would do it too, but
he was jabbing for him to for Sleepy Joe to fucking jump.
But again, 3 months is 3 months too long to wait for the ground to be dry so that your armor can come out in a giant wedge as opposed to a line down roads that everyone knows about.
I mean,
unless there was some sort of reinforcements or something was supposed to have happened, maybe, I don't know, that we don't know about in Ukraine that he got intel about. So he decided to move quick.
Other than the whole NATO vote thing, I don't see it. And I think the NATO vote thing was just maybe the last straw. But
well, I mean, I know for a fact that there is cavalry battalions in Germany for the past 3 months.
Well, we've honestly had troops in Germany since World War II. We've just downsized them, but
no, they sent 300,000 over since whenever they first got wind of him fucking.
Well, that's also because we assumed that he would have already overrun Ukraine in a week's time, because on paper the Russian military is still a monster behind the American and the Chinese. As it turns out, they're a wet dog that still has a bite, but
the only bite they have is fucking nuclear.
No. They're still killing Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are putting up a resistance, but they are slowly losing ground. The only thing that's to the Ukrainians' benefits is every day they hold on is another day that the Russians have to ship fuel from their depots all the way to the front lines, and that's what keeps getting attacked. And that's why their people are finding BTRs and BRDMs and BMPs and the TOS this morning. They're finding all these high-end Russian equipment mixed in with bullshit crappy Russian equipment from the Cold War, just sitting around because it's either out of fuel or the crew said, fuck this, we're out of food, we're leaving.
Yeah.
So as of, this was the 27th, right? The Russian losses, they had lost 4,300 soldiers, 27 planes, 26 helicopters, 146 tanks, 150 artillery pieces, and 706 APCs.
We were told last night by multiple people to kind of tone that down because that's what's being reported by the Ukrainians. And you're more than likely looking at only about 25% of those being confirmed losses. So I don't think they lost 5,300 people in a week's time.
Yeah.
I would say 1,500 for sure. Because just from the pictures alone online, there's hundreds of pictures of dead Russians. But
yeah, any numbers you see coming out right now needs to, as much as I don't see eye to eye with people, it really does need to be taken with a grain of salt, because until official NATO or UN gets involved and starts getting official numbers and stuff, everything's going to be really bloated, just like the ghost of Kiev. As much as I really wish...
Yeah, it's not one pilot that shot down 6. It's 2 or 3 pilots that did it in the course of a night, which is still amazing, given the fact that Ukraine's Air Force is small and Russian Air Force is huge, but it's not turning out to be as good as we thought they were.
I mean, I'd love for them to label them the ghosts, plural, of Kiev. That would be great. But, the propaganda machine that Ukraine is pushing out right now is absolutely crushing Russia's morale, and it's emboldening their own people at the moment. I mean, that's one thing that you got to say Ukraine is doing miracles with, is their propaganda machine.
Yeah, their propaganda machine and the will of their people to fight. Just again, let's talk about the president, the balls of steel on him. Former comedian now a president. There are questions on how corrupt he is. I'm not going to say he's a great guy, but the dude's stand up for at least sticking around and not taking the first flight out of Kiev to safe harbor. He stood in there. There's no real videos of him fighting yet, but he's walking around in armor, like keeping up his guy's spirit. That's something commendable.
Well, that and the fucking boxer from fucking the Ukraine.
Yeah, the Vitaly brothers, the Klitschko's.
Yeah.
Vitaly and Vladimir, they're fighting. You want to come around a corner or burst into a door and one of those big bastards is in there?
That's my thing, right? Like, think about that Russian soldier that just runs out of ammo and decides, fuck it, I'm going out like a fucking boss. Turns corner, there's fuck Klitschko, brother, and he's like, fuck me, horrible idea.
Yeah, you're going to walk into a room with a 6'5" professional boxer.
I mean,
at that point, I'd just be like, look, I didn't turn in this corner to fight you, okay? My gun's outside. It's empty. I'm surrendering to you. Just can you tell people I punched you?
No. Just don't punch me. I'll surrender right now.
No, I just gotta get, if I'm turning myself in, tell people I fucking punched your big ass.
No, I just want to take a photo op with Klitschko. If Klitschko's the one that captures me, like, you know what? I got captured, but look who captured me. There's no shame in this.
I mean, and the morale of the troops from Russia right now is set fucking in the dumps. I mean, if everything that you're seeing is true about the amount of surrenders that they have, the recon unit that rolled in and they were like, we weren't aware really what was going on. We didn't come here to kill, and those guys turned themselves in, and just all these guys abandoning the field. I mean, it's like Russia's people aren't into it, and I mean even that's factual. I think I've seen numbers like 6,000 protesters in Moscow or in Russia have been arrested for protesting the war. I mean, Putin is losing his people, and if he's not, I mean, and I hope this happens. Not to say that I wish anybody's death, but at this point, with the fucking atrocities that are going on, I hope someone gets smart, whether it be the oligarchies or whoever, and takes Putin out. I mean, something needs to happen, because I mean, the morale of his people is already. I mean, soldiers is one thing, but I mean, the civilians are getting hit with all these sanctions. I mean, it's destroying that country. I mean, it already wasn't the best country in the world. Now it's, I mean, even getting ground even more into the dirt. And when are the people going to wake up and do something about it?
And that's it. My only hope is that there's another Russian Revolution, maybe not as bloody as the 92 or even going back to the 1917 Bolshevik Rising. But I would like to see Putin and his cronies finally thrown out of office because, yes, he solidified them in 96 and he brought some order to the country. But you can't just rule forever because you're the iron hand at the top of the fucking castle. Like, pull the strings behind. Put a puppet in place, man. Come on. Be smart about it.
Yeah, I mean, Putin's days are numbered. I mean, it's just, I mean, realistically, you're looking... his days are numbered, and I don't know. Something's bad's gonna happen to him, and honestly, I don't blame whatever does happen to him.
Come on, Spanky, you're being quiet. What do you got to say?
Fuck.
You're just waiting to profit off all those sweet, sweet guns.
Look, one of two things was going through my mind. One, yes, the eBay market, very good. Secondly, there might be some damsels in Ukraine that might need saving.
Yeah, that meme went around at the beginning as well. Save Ukrainian war brides. Adopt now.
Yeah, with the way them broads are fighting, I don't think they need saving right now.
Adopt,
marry, whatever. Who cares?
I mean,
I can't marry another one. I'm not a Mormon. I can only marry the one that I've got. I could bring another one over. She could be the home daycare system.
That's why you don't marry him.
Yeah, we won't get into the marriage topic. I tried to bring that up as a show episode, and these three all kind of backed off like the wilting daisies they are.
Some of us didn't have a good time with the marriages.
Yeah, not all of us are fucking, Mac Merritt here, okay?
That's just stop sticking your dick in crazy.
I fucking can't help it. I love it.
It's the only flavor, man.
Yeah.
Oh God! Well, it's a level of flavor. We talked about that.
No,
as well.
no. It's
Okay.
It's the only flavor. I mean, look, if we're gonna be honest about it, you want to dive into it. If it's not crazy, are you really having fun?
Yes, when I don't have to wake up with a knife to my throat. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I've never woken up with a knife to my throat.
Well, good.
I've had other things held to my throat.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I always eat at the Y in the morning.
Okay, that's good then. I wanted to talk about the concussion. We were talking about that before we got on air.
I mean, we can talk about the previous ones.
Yes, let's talk about your two previous. Spanky, have you had a concussion?
Why, hell no.
Oh, come on. You ain't living.
I'm naturally fucked up, okay?
What about you, Swook?
5.
5?
5?
I have had 5 concussions, yes.
God, don't worry, he has a speech impediment.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
I used to be a genius. I don't know what the fuck happened.
My name is
all that sweet tea.
Yes, unsweet tea made me have another concussion.
5. I thought there's like a magical number limit.
Is that all from sports?
3 of them come from football. 1 of them came from a wreck, and then the other one, youthful indiscretions.
Okay.
Youthful indiscretions.
It means fitting.
Discretions, whatever. I don't know. Big words. I have had 5 concussions.
Kerfluffles.
And those are diagnosed concussions. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Because I've got 3 diagnosed concussions and probably a half a dozen undiagnosed ones.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is definitely kind of want to be like, hey, donate my brain so I can find out, if I was that fucked up.
Oh, I had a concussion so bad during football practice that when I popped back up, everything had a green tinge to it, and I couldn't hear for about 3 hours.
Okay.
Yep, it was pretty raw.
I did never have a concussion like that, but in the vein of Elkin's favorite love, I went to a gentleman's entertainment facility and got
Get knocked the fuck out?
No, I got a lap dance from a young lady who was, shall we say, very kind and giving and gave me some mouth-to-south love. And I shit you not, when she was done, all I could see is in gray, black, and white. Like, she changed the cones and rods in my eyes with what she did to my rod and cones. But I ain't never been hit that bad. Like, I've had the concussions where I'm dizzy and felt drunk and throwing up, but I ain't never had no green tinge or color change.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah. I'm sure it does.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it was bad.
So give a premise, 6'6", high school was 250. We were doing the whole board drill thing, and it was me and a guy that didn't really like me, so we took a couple extra steps backwards, and when an immovable object runs into another immovable object, you can kind of feel our world stop for about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but the world didn't stop. We kept going, and then we fell over. And then I woke up, and they're like, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, where the fuck are we? And
yeah, that's always fun.
I was like, hey, kind of like Swookie said, why is this shit kind of different colors?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, you're fuckered up. And I'm like, I guess I am. So once again, what the fuck are we doing?
See, at least y'all get the stories of doing it in sports, which is manly. Like, I did some roller derby, or not, some roller hockey, and got fucking boarded. That was one of the undiagnosed ones.
That's
hitting the ground.
It's technically a sport.
It is, but it wasn't like it wasn't like full on sports. Like, we were just fucking around, and some dude just hit me, and my ass went down like a sack of bricks. 2 of the 3 diagnosed ones, both were different incidents, but the exact same circumstances. I was driving tow trucks and was on the side of the road, and this is why I will always harp on, if people are on the side of the road with their flashers on, move the hell over. Because I was on the side of the road changing somebody's tire, and both times, just about the time I stood up, an 18-wheeler did not move over, and I caught the side view mirror to the side of my dome, And the first time I remember standing up, and the next thing I know, I am being looked at by EMTs on the side of the highway. The second time I didn't lose consciousness, but I wish I did. Because I got hit and everything went sideways, and I was basically on my hands and knees vomiting and dry heaving for about 45 minutes till the ambulance got there.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
So that's why the wife made me stop driving tow trucks, and I got into food, because you don't get hit by trucks in a kitchen.
I mean, you say that, but I mean...
Yeah, there's some big boys in a kitchen who are the size of trucks.
I'm saying, I mean, you know, if it's fucking meant to happen, I mean, there's going to be a fucking... If the truck is meant to go through that fucking wall...
Well, I kind of look at it as my rule, I call my rule of 3. I've been electrocuted twice. I've been hit by a truck twice. I think that third time is going to be my strikeout, so I just keep avoiding the shit out of that third opportunity.
Did you not pay attention to any of the fucking Final Destination movies?
If he wants me, he going to come get me. So I'm hoping it's in the form of that bear I keep joking about.
Yeah, you might get a bear, Mac. You
I
might
would,
get a bear.
I would love to die between the thighs of some beautiful woman or my wife. That'd be perfect way to go. But if I get to the point that I'm actually elderly,
it'll be a bear.
real
It'll
elderly,
be
unlike the jokes y'all keep making, I'm gonna fight the fucking bear.
It'll be Putin on the back of his bear, Hank the Tank, and he's gonna get your ass.
You know what? If I can at
Talking
least
shit.
kill him with my tomahawk at the same time he kills me with his bear tank, I'll be happy with that.
Oh, okay, Mel Gibson.
You're goddamn right.
You being Mel Gibson about as close as me being fucking old Magic Mike.
Well, see, I can't be Mel Gibson because I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm Semitic.
Waka waka.
I mean, I guess we could talk about that on the OnlyFans because someone else was fucking all. I mean, you know, he was. Fuck you.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Leave me alone.
Okay.
Y'all gave me hell for saying that, and then Elk just goes and drops the actual name of the website.
What? Who said it? Who said
We're
it?
technically not supposed to say the OF place, so.
I said OnlyFriends.
Oh, only friends. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Concussions ain't no joke. I mean, that's a fucking. It's especially like the days after, constant fucking headaches. That's probably why I have consistent headaches. I have since high school. Is I have 2 or 3 pretty bad headaches a week. You know, just kind of learn to live with it. But yeah, my brain was pretty jelly there for a while.
All right. Since you two boys got boys, and you've both played football and had multiple concussions, would you allow your kids to still play football?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if he wants to play.
There you go.
I mean, my son played catcher, so in baseball, and has had quite a few collisions at the plate. I mean, he is not scared of it.
It's the only position to play in baseball because it's the only one you get to hit people. But now in the pros, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
See, now even in the little ones, you can't fucking really do it either.
See, I got thrown out of Little League for tackling people coming to my home plate.
Oh man,
I just never played baseball.
He squares up, and people used to bounce off of him. He's made several kids cry. Coach is upset, and the umpire just looking like, well, he did his job, you know. And he wants to play football, and he's 6th grade now, so he can't play football. But yet next year be the first year he can play for the school, and definitely considering it as long as his warden will sign off on things.
Be careful. Be careful. That's why we avoided the marriage topic, so we don't piss off y'all's former better halves.
God, if she ever finds this shit,
I was to say, I mean, if I'm pretty sure, actually, I think all 3 of us are in the same boat, so I'm pretty sure all 3 of them found out about it.
I can't remember anything you guys have said.
Just message me and be like, "You're a dumbass."
Oh no, mine would full on go the petty route.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you haven't really said anything about her in this. We've
it doesn't matter.
tried to avoid.
It doesn't matter, but I've
it's
said
something
questionable things.
It's something that I enjoy, and she will not have that.
Okay.
I mean,
damn.
mine. I even brought it. Fuck you, whiskey. Mine brought up. I told her they were talking about putting me on medicinal because of the headaches and shit and the anxiety. And she said, "Do you want to go back to court?" And I was like, "I guess I'll deal with fucking headaches."
Like, the medicinal, you don't have to smoke it. They make a pill that you can just take,
No,
right?
She's. I'm sure her first name should be Richard. Okay. That's how petty we're talking, bud.
At least Matt got that one.
Yeah, I got that joke. Thank Jesus, because if I'd explained that one, I don't think me and the whiskey were going to do it. We weren't going to make it.
But
So
the
that's-
question is, did Swookie get that joke?
I got it.
Right between his butt cheeks.
Waka waka.
Like
I
his name is
preferred
Debbie.
Kyle.
Ooh.
Ooh.
3 shots, 2 dead?
He said he took it up the ass. I said like his name was Debbie.
Oh, Lord.
Her in Dallas.
Don't ever do it in Denny's. Dallas is the 6th ring of hell.
Yeah, but Debbie did Dallas.
And she also did Dusseldorf and Dublin. We won't go down that route because that's a vein that I'll get on it. Most of y'all won't be able to keep up with.
Oh, my vein's pretty good.
I know I
Okay.
had some pretty good veins. Never mind.
Yeah.
I gotta
No,
say that
man.
Royal Honey's pretty
End it.
amazing.
Huh?
This
Crown Royal
is-
Honey? No,
No,
God,
no,
Knob
not-
Creek, dog.
Not Crown Royal Honey. It's
Jack Daniels, honey.
It's stuff that you take that
Oh!
increases.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, throwing rope.
Yeah, boy.
What?
Instead of
It's
being
part
a
of
much,
men's health. We'll come back to that.
Not old. I don't need that.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
have to
old. Don't
revisit
need
that
it
one
either.
day.
But
I said I like to make it look like I'm covering her in Krispy Kreme glaze when I'm done. It's awesome.
that and it was all swole up, and veiny, and looking mean like. And I was like, hey,
Whoa.
Angry.
Whoa.
Angry.
Whoa. Finally got on board. We can whoa now.
No, baby. We're on that
We're
choo-choo now for a minute.
Ooh, we're whoaing.
fine with a couple rings. Yeah, come on.
What?
Whatever,
Sometimes you
motherfucker.
have to cage the beast, Elkin.
No, this goose is about to get buried.
God, so bad.
You motherfucker started it. We're gonna go in on it.
This might be an episode that doesn't get uploaded, so somebody doesn't listen to it.
Oh, damn it, I'm sorry.
Not that one, the girlfriend.
Oh,
Now let's go ahead and swerve away so we don't get nobody in trouble.
in trouble. She's just gonna want him to bury his goose. I don't know what you're talking about.
Joke's on you, Swiggy. She's standing behind you.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, babe? Anyway,
Speaking of sitting behind you, I guess you have good news.
I do.
Let everybody know.
Oh, that
What the fuck are we talking to the news about?
I'm assuming you're talking about my new living arrangements. That's
It starts
coming
with ha and ends with ouse.
soon.
Yes. His new
Dr.
financial burden he's about to take on.
Oh, okay. It's like
Yeah. Well,
So
just a
last time
rental
Mike-
financial burden. No, it's not. It's not. Mac isn't going down that rabbit hole. Although after the past 4 days, that may be another possibility in the future. Anyway.
Oh, giggity.
No,
you
we
gotta
did.
wrap it before we tap it.
I don't wrap that shit. Fuck that. Anyway.
The
So
heathens.
The fuck's a condom?
I don't know. Mac
Something that
keeps
keeps you from making more of you.
Mac keeps
I
telling
want
us to
more
use-
of me.
No,
There's a
keeps telling us
procedure
to-
for
But
that.
you have been with the same person for a while, Spooky. I'm talking about Spanky over here, who's on the revolving carousel of thoughts.
Oh.
To wrangle it back in a little bit, yes, I got approved and signed the lease on a house, and move-in date got pushed back a week because of some plumbing issues that they're taking care of. But I will be in a house, and yeah, there may be times when Miss Swookie is sitting behind me. So
Well,
And the fact that we won't have to delay podcasts due to extreme temperatures one direction or the other, so you freezing your poor ass off in your trailer.
yeah, amen to
So
that, brother.
prepare for the random sound of what could only be a number 10 cast iron skillet up against the skull.
or 12 gauge shotgun racking in the background.
I was about to say more likely a gun because she doesn't know her way around a pan.
Oh!
Anyway,
Oh God!
See, yeah, I
Divorce.
probably shouldn't have.
You might as well just say her nene ain't no good. Come on now, man. You want to get hurt?
Trying to get a second divorce?
Even when you know they can't cook, you don't say shit. You let her say that, and you just go, "Oh, babe, it's not that bad."
Oh hell no! I'll tell her straight up. That's because I cook every night, so
I'll stick to my Tinder.
Well, it's nice knowing you, Swoop.
Yep.
God damn.
talk a big game, but yeah, I'm gonna get spanked.
No, that's what Spanky's into. You're into the feet, remember?
I mean, usually,
And the nut taps.
Oh, that's right. A little bit of good old ball slaps.
Elk missed all that because he had to run off the other night.
You's a nasty motherfucker.
Sorry.
All right, Elk. What's your little kink? Do you like getting dressed up as a schoolgirl and she paddles you, pretending to be the principal?
Apparently, talking to women that's husbands are in the oil field, but hey.
Whoa.
That's kind of specific. Are you sure you wanted to go there?
Specific.
Oh, no. Mulligan.
So you like running homes? Okay.
We've already had this talk while you're on the phone with your mother-in-law.
My name's Jody.
Yeah.
Jody, you son of a bitch.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
are you into feet? Are you into spanking? Handcuffed, tied up?
I'm into all this shit, dog.
Okay, you just get the freak flag flying up top high.
Look, someone back when we were, originally doing Milsim told me about a website for that kind of the lifestyle, and I just went over there as a joke, and then I found out that it's like fucking like there's like a whole like world of that shit.
Oh, it gets in depth, like really in depth.
Like it's like Facebook and Twitter, but for that lifestyle.
Wait, what lifestyle? I missed the website for what now?
BDSM.
No, it's it's like everything, like everything.
Yeah, think of it like going downstairs, and every level gets a little bit darker and a little bit weirder, and it's like, how far down in this basement am I going to go? To the point that you're like, yeah, I'm still kind of into this, and then nope, I need to go back up 2 floors. I've gone too far.
Yeah, you get off the elevator, you're like, hey, this looks like fun. Oh, it doesn't. To close the door.
Why is there needles?
No, there's actually a big rule in that fucking shit. It's like there's a lot more that say no to that kind of thing than other things.
Well, and that's the thing is, again, there's no shame in whatever kink you're into. Like we bust each other's balls about this. As long as y'all are with,
do that too.
Yes, that's what Swooky's into, busting his balls. But no joke aside. Again, like we've mentioned before, as long as it's amongst consenting adults, I don't have a problem with any of that, so long as it doesn't involve kids or animals. So
if you're consenting adults.
Yes, the adults. So if you're into having a horse saddle put on your back and a bit put in your mouth and a carrot stuck up your ass while somebody rides you whistling Dixie, more power to you. If you like your balls getting whacked while you're sniffing on her feet, more power to you. If you like getting hit with a freaking wooden paddle while she's wearing a cricket helmet, more power to you.
What the fuck's a cricket helmet?
You've never seen cricket?
They wear a big ass hat because when they throw the ball, the bowling, it's a hard wooden ball and the bat's a big wooden thing and it'll fly off and has killed people actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's been more deaths in cricket than there have been in American football.
So I think Mac misunderstood what I meant by like spanking. And
I know, but that was the joke. Was you get a big ass wooden paddle? Since
Elk's into that, he's been on that website. He probably knows what I'm talking about.
Wait, are you on the website too?
Who do you think hosts it?
Hold on.
Look, very, very, yeah. Anyway, been there, done that.
Yeah or nay?
Yeah. I've been there too.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah, so
it's like Toys R Us for the fucking
like
fetishes.
More like a dominator, and I like me someone who's really bratty. Okay.
Oh fuck yes, bro. I'm talking like if they're like full on brat, it's fuck game over. Wallet is emptied.
That and I really like the ones that like to be choked.
Oh yeah.
Don't ask me why.
Safe
And
word
I'm going
once.
to punch out
Safe
on
word.
that one.
Safe word once was peaches.
No, safe word's more like.
That's when you gotta stop. That's when you gotta stop. That means can't breathe. Stop.
Yeah, actually, you're not supposed to do that.
No,
I
it's
do actually know how to properly choke.
Yeah, you don't actually ever. You actually don't ever.
See,
hear the
now
rest of
I
that.
feel like the vanilla freak over here.
Oh,
That-
you're
the
very
chicks-
vanilla,
the chicks,
man.
The chicks
Oh, yeah,
that do the anime eyes, where they like. Yeah.
The Hagao
cross-eyed
face.
thing. Yes. Oh my god. Oh.
Feet don't sound so bad right now, does it, Mac?
Like I said,
Yeah,
you're up about 4 or 5 floors from where these two freaks have just fallen down to the choking floor.
Oh no, that's like the entry floor, bro. That's
No,
like where you walk
Not in my
Let's see.
hotel, brother. Not in
I
my
went-
hotel.
So I went all the way up the floors up until blood play, and I said,
Yeah, that's what I'm out.
okay, I'm good.
Now, how
Let's
many
stop right
floors
there.
is blood play past piss and shit play?
It's right above it. Right above it.
Yeah, pretty much.
See,
Yeah,
I
I'm
pretty
not
much I
shaming- I'm
stop
not
at I
shaming
stop
up.
at bodily fluids if it doesn't come out of me on orgasm or out of her on orgasm. That's where the fluids stop.
Yeah. Like I'm not shaming anybody's shit, but yeah, that's where I draw the line.
Like a little RP, maybe
like
some
the-
spanking. So I get into the spanking boat with Spanky here. A light spank every now and then. But
Like tap on the balls.
that's
I
your
don't know,
thing.
but
I'm gonna go
we
ahead
just-
and take a pass on that one, dog. I'm gonna
just-
push those.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
push
when we
those
lost
Brussels sprouts off my plate.
Like
I
the,
don't
like the
know, but-
little ping pong battles, got the ball tied on the string, just fucking smacking the shit out of it.
Nope. So sorry.
They're trying to keep the ball in there while they're hitting it and then spanking back at the same time.
Just a light tap. Just a little.
Now again, going back and harking onto an episode we did prior. I told you about the girlfriend I had that was the gymnast that looked like she was 16, and how she did the whole role play where she did the pigtails and the schoolgirl and shaved everything, and I liked it up until the point that I was envisioning her as an actual child, and I lost everything. So I know I'm fairly vanilla. Y'all.
Yeah, so you pretty fucked up. Don't ever go there.
Well, no, like I said, the whole idea was like, oh, wow, she did this for me. That's awesome. And then we're into it, and I'm just like, this is not right. Like this, nope. Thought I was into it. Glad I'm not. Yep, not a pedophile. Cool.
There's another thing that I've heard of, where you take this little rod
Why are you whispering?
and am I?
Oh, you better not be talking when I think about you.
Wait.
talking about.
Are you
whoa,
talking
whoa.
about sounding?
Yeah. That's what I don't do that shit, but that's another thing. That's a no-fly zone for me.
That
I'd
sounds like
probably try it.
that was the sound of about a dozen or more Google incognito modes being opened up and people Googling sounding, because I don't know what it is, but my mind is running wild with ideas and I don't want them confirmed.
So
I
they
think-
they take a little rod that's got like it's kind of gauged, right? And you put it down your pee hole.
Stop,
Yeah.
and we're done.
And it's
Thank you for
like-
coming to episode 12 of Deep Fried Friends.
It's literally like 8 inches long or so.
Oh,
I mean, you get them a
my
different length.
God. That was torture, what they used to
Just
do in the
all the
pilots
way
in
in.
Vietnam. No, you need to stop. Y'all have
No,
gone past the point of
no.
no.
Like I said, it's gauged, so it. you get the
Jesus is
ones that are
looking
just
down
the
on y'all
right
with guilty
size.
eyes right now. You are making baby Jesus cry.
Oh, see, you're just not envisioning,
No, brother.
You know, there's
Anything
people that
past
When you
vanilla.
pee really hard in the morning and it's stretching your urethra, that sucks. I'm not going to shove a metal rod down my pecker. That does not sound like it's any bit of envisioning and good. Like having a camera shoved up my ass for the 2 colonoscopies I've had in my life was not an enjoyable thing. I can't even imagine somebody fisting me.
Time out. You were awake for your colonoscopy?
The second one, yes, the medication wore off.
Fuck that dog.
Yeah, the first time they doped me up with so much Demerol, I went into time traveler mode because I remember them giving it to me, and then I woke up 2 days later. I don't know how I got home, how I got dressed, how I went to the restroom, how I took a shower, but that shit was good.
Oh, bro. So
The
I
second
woke up.
time, they didn't give me enough, and they were reeling it out.
I woke up like one time because so it was when they were switching and doing the esophageal one. And apparently my IV blew. My vein blew where my IV was.
Ooh.
And I guess that's what woke me the fuck up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And I woke up, like, pulling the shit out of fucking the tongue thing out. They're like, what's wrong? I was like, my arm fucking hurts. Like, how'd you wake up? And I looked down and fucking, they're like, oh, your vein blew. It's okay, honey. Here's some more.
Yeah, I woke up during the second one, and they still had about 5.5 feet to pull out. So,
So, I don't know how long or how much you can talk about it, but that's got to be my favorite thing ever is that nap.
Oh, getting a colonoscopy? Yeah, that's
like I said, it was
I mean,
cool.
not the colonoscopy, like anesthesia. Like if you could pay to go like weekly or fucking monthly to go get fucking anesthesia given to you to go take a nap.
all right, Michael Jackson.
Bro, like, wait, okay, time out. You
Fucking
cannot
milk
tell
of-
me, that's not the best feeling in the world is when you have no control over your eyeballs closing.
Not the waking up part.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. I'm with Elk on this because that Demerol they gave me, like normally with anesthesia, like with the other stuff, like it knocked me out and you feel crappy for like a day. That Demerol, when I woke up, it was like somebody just turned on the computer. Like I just sat up, popped up, like where the fuck am I? And there was no haze, there was no grogginess. It was just instantly on. I was like, oh. That was kind of a cool ride, and I've never done drugs, so that was the hardest shit I had ever had at that point in time in my life, other than the morphine when I blew out my knee, and that was a weird haze. I did not enjoy the morphine, but the Demerol, man, I was out and I was back. It was like
hallucinated on Demerol, so that was fun.
It was like 18 hours just disappeared.
Like Demerol, like almost makes you want to like make sure you find a way to re-hurt yourself while you're at the fucking hospital.
Now, Demerol made me feel proof that there's got to be a reason why people feel like that when they get freaking abducted by aliens. If they are getting abducted by aliens, or they're just getting abducted by somebody with Demerol and then left in the field. Like, why does my ass hurt? Why do I think I got probed by an alien?
Bro, like I'm dead serious. Like that shit just like it hits differently. Like when you wake up from Demerol, it's like,
you know, you brought up
what's going on over here? What are you people doing?
Interesting point, Mac. You know, you haven't seen a whole lot of alien abductions since Michael Jackson died. I wonder if that was really what he was doing, was running around with some Demerol, knocking people out.
Or maybe it's just the fact that everybody in America is on so many drugs, they've now got a tolerance to it, so they can't just abduct people at random and fucking probe them.
He just walks up, and he's out.
Oh my god.
They thought it was E.T. and it was hee.
Yeah, exactly.
So funny thing happened yesterday, like on Red M, and like I like
Bill Cosby.
So
who would like a drink of my Jello pudding pop, and yes, you're gonna take it in your mouth and come over here and sit down and you to sleep now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Mac has seen the Discord for the RP server I play on Red M. It's very, very strict. Like you're not supposed to break character, right? Somebody rolls by in a fucking wagon, and they said hello, but the way they said hello and the way salty chat works on TeamSpeak, it broke it up as they rode away. All of us died laughing because we instantly all thought they said the same thing. They said hello because somebody told us. As they're riding by in the wagon, it sounded like they went, hee.
You gotta drive by Jacksoning.
Yeah. And so like we're all dying laughing, breaking fucking character, and someone's like, "Are y'all okay?" Mm-mm. Like, what did you hear versus what I know what they said? We're like, tell us what you heard them say first. And they're like, they said hello. They're like, no, that's not what the fuck we heard. They're like, what did you hear? I was like, I heard hee. I thought the wagon was gonna start going backwards. But yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, Demerol amazing.
Yeah, I could say the few times I've had surgery is that pre-drug they give you that makes your body all nice and cool and
Oh, bro.
like, that shit's great.
So that's like when I was like, I don't know how to word this without fucking incriminating myself. So when I was younger, I had an issue, and Mac is aware of the issue with certain medications. That was the only reason I did it, was to get that feeling. Like when it kicks in,
Isn't that kind of the same reason why people who are on morphine and stuff like that, when they get injured from sports and whatnot, end up started abusing OxyContin, and then when they can't get any more OxyContin, they go to heroin?
I mean, yeah, it was Oxy. I mean, like that whole feeling you get when that shit kicks in, it was like, and that's what I like. That's what I talk about, like with the anesthesia. Like if you go to pay like a paid professional to knock you out for a nap.
No, and I'm with you, because if you're trying to chase that feeling where of no pain, and you're a person who's in constant pain because of some kind of nerve damage or a screwed up injury, like I guess maybe me knowing I have an addictive personality, it's one of the main reasons I avoid a lot of pain medications. Like I don't even like taking ibuprofen or Tylenol until I get to the point that like my migraines are just the flashing white lights in front of the eyes. Ever since the morphine, when I blew out my knee in the Marines, I blew out my knee. They shot me with morphine. They got me to the base medical facility, reset my knee. I kind of remember half this shit, and just from what they told me, they reset my knee, then they put me on a van the next day and drove me from 29 Palms back to Balboa Medical Center through the Mojave Desert. And I was basically juiced up the entire time. And then the next day they did surgery. And then 2 days later, I started finally coming off of the morphine. And so it was like 4 or 5 days of just being doped to the gills. Mm. And I don't remember any of it. I remember hazy moments. I remember laying in the back of a van and seeing the desert go past the window. I remember being rolled into or out of surgery. And then waking up like 3 days later, like I had been hit by a goddamn truck in my head. My knee didn't hurt. My head did, because of all the fucking morphine. And that's why I've never wanted to do drugs.
Yeah, I have such a high tolerance to pain medication as it is. Like, Oxycontin did nothing for me. I was taking probably 4 or 5 a dose. Nothing. When I broke my jaw back in high school, I had broke my jaw in like 4 places, and they had me on liquid Lortab. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking like 3 and 4 times the amount prescribed. Wasn't doing jack shit for me.
Oh my God!
I just have such a high tolerance for that stuff. It doesn't mess with me. Now, when it comes to Demerol, oh yeah, I actually hallucinated while I was on Demerol, and there was pink hippopotamuses wearing purple tutus dancing around the crown molding of the ceiling.
Dog, you was just watching Fantasia.
Well, I probably. But yeah, that shit was good. I have to say, yeah, I agree. Demerol was pretty great. But again, pain pills, nothing like the back injury I've been dealing with that I was dealing with for like 2 years. Nothing helped, And of course, Georgia is now a pain clinic state, so doctors can't just prescribe you any type of pain pills now. If you have to get on any type of pain pills, you have to go to a pain clinic, yada yada yada. So they generally stay away from any type of opioids. But the muscle relaxers and everything else they were given didn't do shit for me. I have such a high tolerance to that stuff. It doesn't affect me, unfortunately.
See, mine wasn't like a tolerance to it, as it was my size. Because I remember like one time a doctor actually broke it down for me, and the amount of oxy I was taking to help with pains, the amount I had to take to actually get an effect from it, would put somebody that's a normal sized person like down for like hours on end. Because like for the oxy I was taking, it was like the max dose or the max milligrams they could give me, and I was having to take like 2 of them, and that would like get me enough to where I could like lay down comfortably.
Well, that's even shit they've talked about with like the football players. They got to put them on such high levels of medication because they're so used to pain. For them to not feel pain, it's ridiculous the amount that they would do. Like I said, not talking about pain medication, my mother had polio from the time she was 3.5 on, and it affected the left side of her body. And she did rehab as a child just so she could get the use of her left leg. She never regained the use of her left arm. But due to complications from the polio, she had thyroid issues for the remainder of her life. To the point that by the time she was 55, she was on the largest and heaviest dose of thyroid medication they could prescribe by law in the state of Illinois. And it was not working. And it's what slowly eventually killed her, because she kept taking the medication to keep her weight down so she would stay below 300 pounds. And eventually it led to her death by it burning out her kidneys and her liver, which eventually led to heart failure and lung failure all within 1 weekend's time. But yeah, like for you guys with your fucking size, Elkin, yeah, you're going to have to give somebody an amount of medication that would, even my 200-pound ass, you would put me flat for 4 days off what you probably take on a daily.
Well, what I used to, I can't take anything now because of fucking recent events. So pretty much that's why I started drinking whiskey again, was to help me at least sleep. But even that's not working, so. But yeah, I mean, because like high school, I was same height, so I was 6'6", and I was like I averaged between 250 and 265. And I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, football, like playing football makes you more acclimated to broken fingers and stuff, so it doesn't really bother you as much. And so that was why most time whenever I got hurt anything in football, I was like, if I got hurt, and I was like, hey, I'm fucking hurting, it was something serious. Because like I remember like even like recently, like it was like 3 years ago, when my appendix ruptured. Your fat boy here, you know what he thought happened? My fat ass thought I was fucking hungry. I went to fucking Subway, bro. I was fishing. I was like, because it was probably like 4 months, 5 months after my divorce, you know. So I was doing the fishing thing to just get away. And it was late at night. I was underneath the bridge, chilling, fishing. Stomach just started fucking killing me. Like, God, I must be hungry. Went to Subway, got home, ate it, fucking instantly got sick. Laid in bed, fucking sweating my ass off. I was like, fuck, I got the flu or something. I'm thinking about it like, it's September. Your fat ass does not have the flu. So I'm laying there. A couple hours passed, like didn't get any better. And get to the ER, and they're like, you know, doing all these tests and shit, and the doctor's about to come take my shit out. He's like, do you want any medication? I was like, for what? He's like, you're about to have your appendix removed, and afterwards, you know, you're going to get some medication. I was like, I'm going to get my appendix removed. He's like, what do you think is wrong with you? I was like, I thought I was sick, and my ass went and got food and got sicker. He's like, oh, no, if you would have waited like another hour, you'd have been dead. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Neat.
He's like, what were you doing? I was like, I was fishing. He's like, so you were fishing this whole time while your appendix was ruptured? I was like, oh, that's what happened? And he's like, yes, sir. So would you like something for the pain until we can get you back there? I was like, sure. Whatever we got. But yeah, he's like, yeah, you shouldn't have been fishing. You should have been here. I was like, no. Thought your boy was hungry. And then my dad started laughing his ass off. He's like, your fat ass thought you were hungry. I was like, yep. I thought we were hungry. But that's my son.
Yeah, well, like I said, I got a buddy who almost died from appendix as well, and had he not gotten drunk at a friend's wedding reception, he would have died because of the alcohol thinning his blood. I guess it was enough to I don't know. I just remember basically they attributed if he had not been drinking that night and had his appendix ruptured in the middle of the night, he would have died. And then 7 years later, a similar incident happened where his brother died because his appendix ruptured in the middle of the night. And it was ironic that the two brothers had the same experience, just one lived and one died.
Man, it was definitely a weird feeling, but like I said, I mean, I legit thought my ass was hungry.
And we're not advocating for ignoring pain or drinking all night long to prevent an appendix rupture, by the way.
Yeah, that's not a medical, like, hey, do that.
No, that's not a way to survive it. It's listen to your body. If there's a weird pain you don't recognize, don't just eat.
Well, I mean,
Especially if you've eaten within the last 24 hours. If you haven't eaten in 2 days and you got a stomach pain, yeah, you're probably just hungry. But if you had burritos for lunch and now you wake up in the middle of the night and you got a tummy ache, you either need to take a shit or go see a doctor.
Or just go eat some Subway, and if you throw it back up, probably means something's wrong.
No.
No, you probably want to do it myself.
No.
No.
Well,
Okay.
Our generation was the I'm not going to say our generation. Those of us that are of the male variety and grew up in our generation grew up with unless it's broke and you can see bone, put dirt on it and keep going.
Yeah, walk it off. Rub some dirt on it.
It'll be all right.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I say it so much, and everybody's like, I'm not your Buttercup. I'm like, I fucking clearly have met the wrong generation. I don't know, like our generation.
Literally,
Our generation's like weird when it comes to that shit.
Yeah, it is.
Because like my mom will get on to me so much for the way I talk to my son. Like, because I talk to him the way my dad talked to me. And, everybody's like, you're really gruff. I'm like, excuse me? I was like, are we talking about the same person that raised me? Because I'm confused here. Because, I mean, it was, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Of course, I don't cuss at my son, but at the same time, it's, hey, what are you doing? Like, what thought process said, hey, this is a good idea there, sunshine? And Mom's like, can't talk to him like that. And my dad's like, yeah, you can't talk to him like that. And I'm like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Like, you talk to me like that. That's how I became tough.
Yeah, but it's funny how, like, it's different with grandkids versus us. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because they don't remember either. It's been so long since they actually had to raise a kid.
But yeah, it's like that's how you fucking talk. It's like he still talks to me like that. It's like that's how we fucking talk. And it takes me a while to remember, like, maybe I don't need to go down that same path because their generation's going to be different from ours.
Yeah, I always find it weird talking to my parents as an adult now. It's like, it still feels weird even if I'm 35. It's like, you're still my mom and dad.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm may be a huge human being, but when I get sick or don't feel good, I am the biggest fucking mama's boy you have ever met in your life.
I just take NyQuil and sleep it for 3 days.
Oh no, bro. Fucking sit there. Mom calls me. She's like, how are you feeling today? I feel good, Mom. She's like, do I need to bring you some Gatorade and some chicken soup? Yes, ma'am.
Mama.
Oh, bro. If you're fucked from the South and you don't say you're mama's boy, you're a goddamn liar. You may not admit it on this podcast.
I was a bit of a mama's boy, but I was also different I was the opposite of my brother and sister. My brother and sister were, nowadays you would classify them as ADHD, and I was very much the opposite. I was the introvert. I would sit and play with Legos or blocks or stuff for 8-10 hours at a time. And my brother and sister hated it because if I asked for a toy, I got it, because I almost never asked for a toy. But what I did, I would play with it for days on end. Whereas my brother and sister would get something and they would freaking lose it in 48 hours.
Well, like, I mean, that, like, we were talking today, like, me and a couple of guys were like on a patrol in the 5M or the Red M server. And, we were talking about being dads, because one of the guys was asking us, how it is and all that, And I was like, it's weird because, like, before my son, like, movies like Armageddon and like any like movie that will make you tear up now, get even a little bit emotional now, didn't faze me before my son, right? But like after my son, I've gotten more like, when you hold your kid, you can hold anybody else's kid, it doesn't change you. But when you hold something that you help create, like, it's weird the change that comes over you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'll admit to even having kids, it softens my heart. Beforehand, I used to be an asshole and loved the sound of a screaming child. Now, I'm like, what's wrong with that kid?
Why is it crying?
What can I do to help?
And it's crazy because it's not even your kid, but you hear crying. You're like, "What's wrong?"
Who's hurting that baby?
It's like dad mode initiated. You're like, "Huh? Where?" You're like that dog sitting in the backyard that hears a noise. What? Where? When? Who? Just barking at everything, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Yeah, that's pretty much that's when fatherhood sets in.
Yeah. Beforehand,
He's like,
heartless. Now, yes.
because he's like, well, what's it like? It's like everything changes. Sleep, emotions, reaction to things. He's like, what do you mean reaction to things? I was like, your dad instincts like give you like Spider-Man abilities. Yeah, you could be falling off a couch and somehow, even if you're not athletic, your ass makes some move and catches the child before it falls. And if not, you're like right there immediately after they fall. You may even break something on the way there. You may pull something. Look, at our age, you're definitely pulling something. There's not a if. After 30, you're fucking pulling something.
Yeah.
I get out of bed wrong. And I'm like, motherfucker, my back is gone.
Well, you're also a big son bitch. I feel sorry for the bed.
Bro, we won't even talk about how often I have to change beds, okay?
See, my thing is I destroy pillows. Like, my head is the destroyer of pillows. Like, I finally found a pillow that has lasted 6 months, and I am befuddled by its existence.
See, I'm one of those weird people, though. Would you spend money on a pillow that stays cold?
Ironically, this one actually does. I wouldn't pay for it for that feature alone.
Oh, I
just need a place to put my head down. Hot, cold, doesn't matter. I can sleep. Maybe that's the benefit of being in the military. You just learn to sleep anywhere, anytime. 5 minutes, I'm out. Well, I destroy pillows. Like, my wife worked in furniture for a while, and she brought home 2 of the Tempur-Pedic, like the super cushy, super hard.
Mm-hmm,
like I like a nice dense pillow. She brought me 2 of these things. They're supposed to have a lifetime warranty, quote, 30 years. Within 6 months, I had flattened these things down to a couple of McDonald's cheeseburgers and had them both crammed into one pillowcase just so it was still a viable pillow. She wanted to take them back to the CERTA rep because I wasn't supposed to be able to destroy these pillows. Like, my head defies the laws of physics while I'm sleeping.
So, before the weight loss and after my divorce, I had to buy a new mattress, right? Because she took the bed. No big deal. So my dad helped me get a bed. You know, your boy was definitely not at a healthy weight. It's at 360. And found this bed that was supposed to be for big and tall people, like big people. And I'm not one of those people that sleep in one position. I'm what you'd call it's what I call my son. He sleeps like a clock. I rotate my ass around the bed.
Oh my God, you're one of those people.
Yeah, unless I'm like physically cuddling with somebody, my ass is fucking moving. And yeah, he's like, I think we should. He's like, how's the bed? Like, it was like a year after, or like, yeah, like a year. It's like, yeah, we need a new one. He's like, James, that bed was legitimately made for big and tall. I was like, yeah, your boy's big and very, very big and tall. Yeah, but yeah, so after the weight loss, new bed, no issue, but still not at a happy weight. I mean, I'm at a happy weight, but I'm not like, I'm pissed off because I'm like 20, 25 pounds away from high school weight. Oh, bro, I'm not getting that shit back, dog. No, I'm not going back to like 300 over. I'm not going over 300
Do whatever
pounds.
you can to stay below it. Like, so we were talking, like you joked at the beginning, we were talking about diets and stuff, talking about the carnivore diet. I lost 22 pounds in 40 days. Do whatever you got to do. Work out, eat healthier.
Well, I've been doing like walking up and down the road and shit, but like mainly just been since COVID. Like, it sounds fucked up. Like, those that don't know, COVID completely fucked me. Like, 100 pounds in a month I lost and couldn't eat anything for how long, Mac? Like, how to tell you, like a month, 2 months?
Close to it, yeah.
And like, I got my taste and everything back, but like, I don't have to eat that much now. Like, before I would eat just to eat because I was bored. And now, like, I eat maybe breakfast and maybe a light lunch or dinner, and that's it. And like, everybody's like, that's not healthy either. And I'm like, I know, but like, I can't. If I try to force myself to eat, I'll get sick. So it's almost like I got the surgery that my dad and my uncle got without getting the surgery that they got. Like I got the body by COVID. But yeah, so I mean it's weird because like I love food. I still love food, but I for whatever fucking ungodly reason or godly reason, whatever it is, I can't force myself to eat. Like used to, if I ordered a whole pizza, that whole pizza would be gone plus breadsticks and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
And now like there's
I will turn you into poo.
apparently, boys, there's this thing called leftovers.
Yeah, it's a weird thing you get to.
Yeah, it's a thing called leftovers. I didn't know this was a thing. I thought you had to eat the whole pizza and the sides and
Yeah, it
the
goes
dessert.
bad if you don't, right?
Not really, but yeah. No, I'm right there with Elk, and I remember back in the day where it was like an insult if I left food on the table. Like, no, I got to eat it. Like, oh, you're not going to finish that half a piece of pizza? Can I have that? Like, I just ate off of that. I don't care. Give it here.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if you ate off it.
Yeah, come on.
Still
Unless
edible.
I watched you sneeze on it, I'm going to eat that sumbitch.
No, bro. Overweight elk would have definitely still been like, hey.
I put a napkin on that, wiped it off. I'm good.
Put some Parmesan on it. We're good.
Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, it's like, okay, for me, it's more the financial issue and trying not to get over a certain weight. It's like, okay, I only need to eat 2 slices of pizza. Since I now went from having to only buy 1 pizza for my wife and I to now we've got to buy 2 pizzas for my wife and I and the kids. So I can knock out 2 pieces. She can knock out 2 pieces. That way we both got our 2 pieces left over. The son eats 2, the daughter eats 1. That's 2 days of food for them. Like, okay, I got to make this stretch. Otherwise, I'm like Elkin. I would have knocked out a pizza by myself, would have knocked out an order of cheese sticks. We would have split an order like crazy bread from Little Caesars amongst the 4 of us. I would have put down probably 2 or 3 cans of soda and then still been looking around like, what else is there to eat?
Yeah, I'd eat my pizza. I'd look over the kids, but like, you gonna eat that?
Damn
right.
Yeah,
bro. Most definitely.
Nowadays, it's like I limit myself to two slices of pizza, unless that pizza is really, really good and there's only be 1 slice going back in the fridge, then I'll kill that last one. But normally it's like 2 and done.
Oh, let me tell you something. I like really good pizza. All right, I might be a little bit fucked up. All right, for something. I don't like the pineapples on the fucking pizza. If that's what
Thank you, Jesus.
Are thinking. No, it's not. Though you might think it's worse. I don't know. I don't really give a shit because it's what I like. But I like green olives on my fucking pizza. And it is hard to find some places that'll put green olives on a motherfucking pizza.
Most places don't keep them as that's not a traditional topping for pizza. But if you take it with you and ask them to put it on there, they'll do it for sure. We did it all the time.
So
we had a lady who would come in every single week with her own little personal jar of green olives, and she would give them to us, and we would put them on, and whatever we didn't use, she would take back with her.
See, the place you used to work for, they had them for the longest time. Like you could order, get it and shit, and then all of a sudden they stopped, and I'm like, I'm gonna like go whoop somebody's ass.
Well, again, it's not a traditional topping. In some Italian restaurants, yes, but for the American pizza chains, it's not a traditional topping, and they've like that was my biggest complaint about working for Domino's was they got too many pizzas, too many recipes. You got to dumb it down. The KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. The more options people have, the less decisive they are, and therefore it becomes problematic. And when Domino's is one of the worst. They've got 10 or 12 specialty pizzas. That's like, no, you just need a meat pizza, a veggie pizza, your standard supreme or deluxe, whichever one you want to call it.
Yeah, look at Pizza Hut. That shit ain't changed in like 30 years.
They throw a few in there every now and then, but they are very, very limited times, whereas Domino just keeps that. They got a chicken bacon ranch.
Green olives.
They got a chicken bacon ranch Cali. They've got the taco pizza, the cheeseburger pizza, which tasted like dog shit if they'd have just done it the way I told them to. We made it one time my way, and even the regional director agreed that my pizza was better, but they had to go with the Domino's kitchen. I was like, I don't know what kitchen culinary school these guys graduated from, but they obviously don't know what pizza tastes like or what people who eat pizza taste like. But y'all need to stop fucking with the pizza.
Whoa. We don't eat people, Mac.
I mean,
maybe you don't.
How do you know? Did you see what the meat you're eating came from?
No, but yeah,
he said they don't know what the people that eat the pizza taste.
I know
like.
what I said, and I kind of have meant it as a joke. No, I am not condoning cannibalism, but there's a disconnect between these corporate kitchens and what the average person actually wants. Like every now and then they hit a home run, like Taco Bell with the Locos Doritos taco.
That's deep, man. Yeah, like define average. All right, that's real deep.
Again, that's difficult because you got to look at each area, and
average is regional.
No, and even regional, like they vary it. Like we're in St. Louis here, we're blessed. We actually get used as a test market due to the variety of people we have in the St. Louis area, and we're a smaller market, so they don't have to spread it to 150 stores like they do in LA. They get to do it at 40 or 50 here, and they still get to poll 2 million people and figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, and like I'm in Kentucky. If you want to test something here, it better taste like bacon or it ain't going to be too good.
Bacon or chicken and it ain't working.
Exactly.
So the other thing that kind of weirded me out because I like made this mental note in my head like after I got my before I got my taste back, I was going to try to reboot my brain because like pre-COVID I was very, very like picky at what I ate. Like I hated mushrooms because of texture, right?
With you on that. Love the flavor it puts into food, hate the texture of mushrooms. Go ahead.
And so all my like because of culinary classes, I learned that texture was a fucking key thing for food. And so that's what I based everything off of before that. And so afterwards, I was like, hey, I don't have my taste back. I'm going to start eating shit that I normally wouldn't have eaten. Yeah, you can't fucking do that. Your brain does not reboot. Like, no matter what anybody says, I tried that shit. I tried to eat shit that I normally wouldn't eat.
Eaten? You wouldn't have eaten?
Eaten. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we were from the South. I didn't know we were fucking correct on everything we fucking say.
No, and I'm with you. You can learn new flavors, but texture is always still the hardest thing. And this is something that we learned with cooking, and that I had to have hammered into me, and I've then taught other people. Like cooking is not just the food. And this is there's been too much emphasis put on plating and the way the food looks, but the food has to be appealing because when the person is serving you the food, either at your kitchen table or in a restaurant, you want it to look appealing because that's the first thing you see with food. It's literally your sight. You see it. Unless you're a person that unfortunately doesn't have the benefit of sight, then your sense of smell is heightened and that goes to you. But the way we were taught was sight first, then smell, because then once they put it in front of you, you can now smell your food, and it has to have a good smell. Sometimes there are foods that don't smell good but taste amazing. They're few and far between, and I don't have any examples other than one or two right off the top of my head.
I do. It's a fucking nasty ass fruit that's always on a cooking show. We had a taste it one time. No, it's this weird ass fruit and it smells like ass, but it does not taste like ass.
Yeah, there's ones like...
No, it's a giant ass fruit. It's not jackfruit. What the fuck is it?
I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, they taught sight, smell, taste, texture. You had the SSTT. You had to have those four things for the food to be good. You can make the food taste good with good ingredients and proper seasoning. That's the winner. That's 90% of the battle. But you have to win that first 5 to 10% with sight and smell. And everybody's texture is different. And it's just like everybody's kind of taste is a little bit different. But as long as you get in the same ballpark, good food is good food. Some people might be a little pickier than others. Like we had to deal with elderly people who thought our food was too spicy. But anybody who was under the age of 40 thought our food was delicious. Properly seasoned, good ingredients.
Step back over here trying to talk shit about all elderly people.
No, literally. I made fried chicken. I came up with the recipe, which even impressed the black guys in my kitchen. They're like, how'd you do that? I was like, I was born in the South. I know about taste and flavor, son. Don't just think that I'm over here freaking cooking with Melba toast. Like we ain't just because the color of my skin is white does not mean that I cook with no flavor. There's color in me.
Motherfucker, there's a 55-gallon drum of Crisco back there. We good.
Yeah, Crisco and salt and pepper and cayenne and paprika and some cumin. I made it to where even their eyes open. Like I got credit inside the kitchen for that. But dude, because there was cayenne,
wild, man. She made pretty good biscuits and shit. But I'm sitting here like, Man, my grandmother used to make some bomb ass biscuits, and like the first damn thing she did was go in with her hand like a goddamn shovel and just right into the Crisco. Boop.
Big ass scoop of Crisco, and at the end, a big ass scoop of butter. And people don't realize that, well, because we're trying to eat healthy, we don't use Crisco now, and you use margarine. Like, no, don't. Food is food. It tastes good if it tastes good. Worry about the calories later. Just do some extra workouts, have extra 15 minutes of sex, whatever.
I got to do
But we had the old people who would come in and they complained because there's too much spice in this. It's burning my lips. Like, I'm sorry. That's just called flavor. I'm sorry you haven't had flavor in your life in the last 25 years. There are the pearly grates behind you. Turn around and walk the fuck through them. Get away from my kitchen.
Did you order a drink?
I got to do something I haven't done in a while.
Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry, Swookie. You are correct, sir.
Thank you.
About what?
Whoa.
It was durian.
Hey, that shit was recorded too.
Huh?
Durian. We had to eat durian.
Oh, durian. Okay.
Man, that
Like
looks
I said, it smells like ass. Like legitimately smells like ass.
Well, like,
But-
fucking movie.
But it does not taste like ass.
well, no. Like,
So it's one of those weird scenarios where you have to overpower your brain to say, hey, don't eat that. It fucking smells like ass. And just go in and eat it.
Yeah, there's certain things like that. There were things we cooked in the kitchen, like we had the chef. He came up with this recipe, which I thought he was a mad scientist for, because we had these prime rib. We turned them into steak tips. I can't remember if I told this story or not before, but you would throw the steak tips in, and then you would caramelize them with this concoction of Hefeweizen beer, au jus sauce, and Dr. Pepper. And when you mix the three of those three liquids together, it smelled like swamp water or a backed up toilet. But as soon as you hit it with that heat and then you threw in a little bit of mushrooms and onions, it was the best tasting thing in my whole life. And I thought this man was insane. I was like, you just ruined that meat. You just poured trash water onto it, and now you've ruined it. And by the time it got done glazing, the sugars and the Dr. Pepper and the beer and the au jus with the saltiness. Oh my God. If you'd have put a bowl of that on top of my head, my brain would have punched through my skull to get to it. Oh my God.
Like, we went and we had a, I guess you call it a field trip. We went to the Culinary Institute in DC. And we had like a competition, like with all the like seniors and juniors. And the chef that I was working with had me cook up, or technically fry up, purple cabbage. I cannot stand purple cabbage. Or not purple cabbage. I can't stand fucking fried cabbage. I know it's southern, like most southerners will fucking disown me, but I cannot stand cabbage, like fried cabbage.
I'm in the same boat as you.
But the way he had me cook it up with balsamic vinegar and some other ingredients, and he's like, taste it. And I was like, I'm not tasting that. That's cabbage. I was like, if you would have put some carrots on it and put some fucking dressing on it, I would have fucking probably ate it up. I was like, but that's fried now. And then he had me try it, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. They're not getting any of this. He's like, they have to judge it. I'm like, no, this is for us.
Give me a 0. I'm done.
But yeah, no, like it's crazy how something you strongly dislike, and then you cook it a certain way, and then you eat it. It's like night and day. But yeah, no, like I said, I was like, I had it, beat in my head that, hey, we're going to start eating more vegetables because we can hardwire our brain. Like first week, got my taste back. It's like, hey, go throw down on some stuff I usually wouldn't eat. But cooked it up, ate it. It was like, nope.
Well, the key is to introduce it little by little. Like I'm not a big salad guy, but prior to Christmas and the carnivore diet, I started eating more salads. But I was throwing in fresh cooked chicken and stuff like that to at least make it palatable. Like, this is what food eats. Why am I eating this green leafy crap? But you put enough bacon on it and enough freaking sliced chicken, and it tasted pretty damn good. It was just something that was mixed in with it. And it helps, but it ain't going to be my primary diet. I'm not going vegan by any stretch of the means. Just like I had to stop doing carnivore because I missed pizza. I missed bread. I missed I missed food. I missed my pasta.
And see, I think, I don't know if it's just our culture as a Southerner, but that's like I still eat bread. and I'm still confused how I'm not gaining the weight back. But like bread is my fucking weakness.
Oh yeah,
like
it's just so good.
Because in the South, like no matter what meal you're having, be it breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or supper, whatever it is you want to call it. Even though in some places in the South, supper and dinner are two separate things because you have breakfast, lunch, supper, and then dinner. I don't know how you make two dinners.
And
but
they wonder why you were over 300 pounds.
Right? But
you gonna eat your cornbread?
You can't have my cornbread. There will be consequences and repercussions.
Yeah. But like, like every meal, like if you think about it, like it was pretty much impossible for us to live a super healthy life as Southerners because either A, everything's fried, which as Southerners, we fry damn near everything.
Yeah, well, that's the Celtic background. Yep.
And B, we have bread with every meal.
That's the poor background because poor people pretty much subsisted off of bread and little bits of meat.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, if you think about it, like, there was no fucking chance of our people like being healthy out of any of this.
Well, no, we were healthy back then before the internet and a sedentary lifestyle. Nowadays, we've got too many reasons to sit on our ass. We're not working a field 10 hours a day. Back then, you needed the bread for all the carbs and the energy and shit like that. Nowadays, you eat a bread and that sucker just sits in your gut. Like me, it sat in my belly. That's why I went on a carnivore diet.
But yeah, like I mean, it's like like bread. Like we always have bread. Like,
brother,
you can't name me a dish, a Southern dish, that there's not bread on the table. Like I will sit here longer.
Biscuits, rolls, sandwiches. I know. I'm with you. I'm 100%. Like it's a staple. Like,
well, you need
taters, bread, and some form of meat, usually fried or
like,
barbecue.
I have friends, that aren't from the South or haven't lived, aren't from the South or live in an area from the South that's not really. I don't know how to say. I wouldn't say not Southern, but not. They're not culturally considered Southern. They're like, all you gotta do is quit eating bread. I'm like, you don't understand.
Well, even Italians will be with you. Like Italians and their bread and their pasta, like you're talking about, that's just a wall of carbs. And it tastes so damn good. But
them's fighting words.
Yeah, because like I mean, like when I lived in Virginia, one of my best friends, his family moved down from New York, and like I'm talking like I questioned why they had moved down there because his dad wore a fucking suit every day, drove a black Cadillac. His whole family that moved down drove fucking black vehicles, like, and they all talked historically accurate to the area. And like his grandma moved down with him, and she was like straight up from Sicily. And like I'll never forget, this is high school me, so back like again 250. And I went over to eat dinner with him when like first night she came down. And it was weird because she was trying to hook me up with his sister, so it was really awkward. And she kept whispering to his mom, and I was like, what's she saying? Because she's talking Italian. And she's like, she said you're too skinny. I'm a defensive tackle and defensive end at this point in my life. That was fucking an insult. I was like, come again? You said you're too skinny. I was like, I'm too skinny for what? He said, if you're going to be in the family, you're too skinny. I was like, A, that's weird. So that's A. And B, I cannot be skinny. I was like, I am middle ground here. I'm not skinny. I'm not fat. And again, I'm not average.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah. And I was like, tell her I appreciate the compliment, but I can't be skinny. I was like, to protect her grandbaby and your son, to make sure he gets the ball back, I cannot be skinny. And she told her, she said, don't worry about it. You wouldn't have to worry about money. And I was like, okay, look, I cannot be skinny. And then about that time, she sits down a bowl that normally for us, in the South, the bowl she's setting down in front of me would be for the whole table. And it was just full of bolognese and fucking noodles.
Yep.
And I was like, where's everybody? I was like, because everybody else had the same size bowl. I was like, are we just going to pass this around? And she's like, no, that's your bowl. Got done eating all that and bread. So I was like, at this time, I was working out. So like I was past my max at that day. Like there was no chance of a cheat day that week. And then came dessert.
See, that's the one thing I will fight people on. The Italians don't know how to make dessert to save their damn life.
Yeah, but there were cannolis, Mac.
Cannoli's ass.
So,
yeah, but these are like.
Speaking of ass, we have been sitting on ours way
Yeah,
too
it's an
long.
hour and a half. I got to put little people to bed.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, sorry. But anyway,
No,
yeah.
you're
So
fine.
moral of the story is, don't go to an Italian family's dinner and expect to not be full.
Oh yeah, you're gonna leave there with your belt buckle breaking off.
And then she tried to give me some in a Ziploc bag, and I don't remember what movie it was at the time that they did that, but I was laughing my ass off the whole drive home. And I got home, and my dad's like, "What is that Ziploc baggie full of spaghetti?" I was like,
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I'm gonna need like an hour. I can't drive right now because I'm about to spew like a can of beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
dude,
much like this episode,
I am full.
Elkin was stuffed and jam packed. So we're going to wrap this bad boy up.
I don't even
Yeah.
know. What were randomness? Yeah.
That's why we just did bullshit buffet this week. We had guests again that were supposed to be on. Hopefully they can join us in the near future. Stay tuned because there's going to be a little hiccup in there when Mr. Swooky gets to move into the house. We'll probably lose a week's time there.
Also, PSA. While towards the end of this podcast, why I was so silent is I was working on actually uploading our podcast to actual podcast stuff. So
Look at us moving up in the world.
we now have a home on Podbean, which I will get all the URLs and everything, links posted in Discord and everywhere it needs to be posted. Which I need
Spanky,
at least.
he said bean.
I need at least two of y'all to stick with me for a second after we end this, so we can just talk about some things. And then, yeah, that's all I have for you.
Okay, sounds good. So the technical master of disaster, Swooky here. Go ahead and sign us out, big man.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight and sitting with our lovely little, as Matt called it, the bullshit Buffetta and our ramblings. Hope you all have a wonderful one. Spanky.
The fuck's a Buffetta?
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, I mean, good night, ladies.
And he means that. Anybody on Tinder listening, hit up your Spanky. He will satisfy you in ways that only a machine or battery can do.
Yeah.
Elkin?
Deuces, gooses. Don't forget to bury yours.
And on that note, we thank all y'all for joining us and dealing with the randomness of this episode. Hope to catch y'all very, very soon again. From Deep Fried Friends, episode 12, and we're out.